How to achieve consistent results in trading. So I got asked this question, and to be honest, this is something which is, yeah, a very tough question, to be honest, because there are so many things to it that you gotta understand. Most traders come with the wrong perspective to this topic already. They think consistent results mean you gotta like make everyday profit. But at the end, this is not really possible because you gotta understand having 100% win rate strategy is basically the reason why people will lose in trading. They think that they will be right all the time, or that there is a chance to like find such a strategy to be able to do so. And at the end, on the path, trying to search for something like this is going to prevent you from really succeeding in trading. It's all about accepting losses, which is a very, very strong thing to learn because it's something very naturally that we don't want. Nobody wants to be like wrong in the first place. And also, you don't want to like lose money by being wrong. And this is the issue why traders will look too much into trying to find something that doesn't really exist. Instead of doing that, you should finally start working on your mindset, working on yourself, working on your personality, and looking for a strategy at the end which helps you to succeed, which helps you to like accept losses. Only through that you can really get consistent results. So you see, I've already touched here multiple points about how this is possible to achieve. The next thing is also understanding money and risk management, right? So when you actually go for your risk per trade, right, and you already know you're gonna lose trades, then why should you increase the risk too much? Why should you risk 10% of your trading account on this specific trading idea? It will not make any sense. What will make more sense is basically for you to actually understand that every loss that you potentially have is like an investment into yourself. So let me cover this a little bit up for you. That means basically, once you take a trade, right, treat it like money which is already gone, which is out of your trading account. It's like in any other business as well. Those are expenses, right? So when you want to have a new MacBook, right, you gotta like pay for it. So the money is gone. And in trading, it's like this. You want to go into the next trade. Well, basically, you have to now give that money to your broker, right? Or to your prop firm account, right? So you have to like just think about this money is gone. If then, because you made a good decision, which was based on analytics, right? You analyze everything according to your trading strategy. If you then also like get more back, everything is good. You've done a great job. So you are a profitable trader and consistent. But if you will lose it, take it as part of the game. And this is exactly the thing which will keep you in the game, right? Let's just think about the statistics about how many traders are profitable. I would say around 5% are profitable, and only like 1%, like below 1% in reality, is gonna like make the huge trading money people always think of. Now, how do you think those guys do really make money? Do you think it is by just being correct all the time? No, it's actually by accepting losses. So, for instance, let's say you have a bad week, or like how I have it. Like sometimes I also have very bad weeks where I just make losses. The thing is, when I take one loss, I don't have any issues normally. Most traders already go crazy. Here's exactly what experience level comes in. When you understand that losses is actually something that will protect you, right? In order to like be in the game, and I will explain you now in a bit why. But the thing is, if you don't accept your losses, you will be automatically out of the game. So you want to have a 100% win rate to like be in the game, which is not really possible. So the thing is that once you have like the first loss, you accept it. The second loss, accept it. The third loss, accept it. The reason why you accept it is because your trading strategy, which you've been backtesting, which you know it's proven to work, is actually the reason why you keep going, right? You're still in the strategy because it is what you like. So it's basically based on statistics that is going to work out. So that way you have actually like the proof for yourself is going to work out, and the losses are just here to like minimize the outcome. All right, so that way you can keep trading and know that you are profitable. The thing is also like with having, for instance, a trade, right? You take a trade. most traders do one important thing, and this is why they're not consistent. They open up their stop loss, right? Opening up the stop loss, which means you want to give it more room to breathe, right? You want to give it more room to breathe. So the problem with that is actually, if it makes sense based on your strategy, you can do that, right? But the problem is, to most strategies, it will not never make any sense. In reality, what you do is you go into a path where your win rate for the outcome of the trade to be successful is going to be very, very low. So this is the reason people keep losing, right? So let's say you have a win rate on your trading strategy, which is around 70%, all right? So if you don't accept your loss, right, you will move automatically into the 30% bubble, right? Like you will probably lose the setup anyway, although you think, hey, it might reverse. You might think your price of interest was so good, and that's exactly the reason why the price will actually rebalance from it. But the thing is, while you're doing that, your win rate will automatically from 70% go down to 30%. And even though you have a 70% win rate, it could still be that it's actually not working out. And that's exactly the losses you have to accept. On the long run, you will win. On the short term, trying to like do these games, it's gonna actually just cost you more money. So it's like, again, the example with the expenses, that means you will be actually at the end just buying, instead of one MacBook, you will be buying 10 MacBooks. You don't need those MacBooks in reality, right? Because there is no use for it. So it's actually not a good decision you've done. And at the end, on your total profit, it's gonna like not be good. It's gonna be less than it could be. And that way, it's more important to understand those in trading that you should do your investments smart, right? Only what you need. And once you take a trade, the money is gone. At least in your mind, it should be gone. If it then returns with 2 times more because you have a 1 to 2 risk reward strategy, or a 1 to 3, whatever, or you're dynamic in that place as well, then it's good for you if that works out. And it's gonna work out if your strategy is backtested and you can trust it and you can follow it long term. Most traders are like this. Hey, I have a bad week, a bad month. That's exactly what will not lead into consistent results, right? And even though your strategy is good, right, there's going to be periods like this which doesn't work. So for me personally, I have this every summer, right? Every summer I have a phase when it doesn't work so good, which means I'm still profitable. I'm still consistent on the long run, right? I make most of my profits usually in Q1 and Q2 and then in Q4. In Q3, it's exactly the phase where I'm kind of like at break even. I lose funded accounts during that phase, but I can also make them again back. Sometimes I make big losses as well in Q3. And the thing is, I just treat them as investments, which means, hey, it's okay that I lose that because I made already the money before and I'm going to continue to make the money again, right? So either way, I'm looking forward to Q4 if Q3 was bad and I know it's going to make it back, or I'm just looking forward to the next week or to the next day. I always have this kind of mindset because at the end, I never know when I will be bad in trading or when I will have like this losing streak, right? It could also just be one day, right? It could be 2 days losing streak. It could be an entire week. It could be an entire month or even an entire Q3. And this is always different. So this is why if someone would ask another question, why do you then trade in Q3 if it's not so profitable for you? Well, actually, because I never know when this starts and when this ends. And that was like every year differently. Sometimes it starts in April, sometimes in May, sometimes only in July. And the only thing I learned from the experience level I have right now is that these phases get year to year smaller to me because I know how to handle that. Most traders will do what? They lost a trade, they will increase the risk to make everything back. It's exactly the wrong mentality. The right thing is actually to do is to basically always keep the same thing, the same trading strategy, the same trading plan, everything the same. Because the benefits of the win rate that you have been backtesting will only be visible long term. And if you just see right now, let's say the strategy works not good, your psychology is also not good, this will automatically make a trading strategy even less profitable than on paper. That's the issue most traders have. That's why I would always recommend work on your strategy to make it as profitable as possible, work on your psychology to be able to execute it as good as possible. And then if you still have those losing streaks, which is normal, go accept it, because only through accepting the losses it's possible to like make the wins back. There's no other way around. There is no way to like, hey, open up stop loss to actually overcome that. The only way to overcome it is by accepting the losses. And I know this is very hard. As I told you already, naturally, we don't want to do this, right? We don't want to be wrong, and we also don't want to like lose money. That's the human instinct in reality. And that's exactly why trading is so hard usually. And this is why I would say it takes each individual trader longer to like get really good at it. Because just let's say you will like use the same strategy I use, right? Most people have the expectation, all right, if I learn from a professional trader, I will be able to get consistent with that. You won't get consistent with that instantly because you lack experience, right? You will lack to like apply the strategy the same way. Even though it's a mechanical strategy, it's not going to work for you because you got to like be able to make the proper decisions. And it's a difference if someone has 7 years of experience or someone has only 2, 3 years experience in executing that strategy. And that's exactly the thing. And even though, right, you will learn a new strategy, right, it's still like, it always requires like a couple of months or so to like get used to it, although you're experienced, you know? And that's kind of the point. So if you want to stay in the game, as I did right now for a very long time, all you got to do is actually put in the hard work to figure out how this entire thing works, to have a proven strategy that works, and then also to trust it, right? And you can only trust it by putting the hard work to understand your data that you have. So statistical advantage is the point. If you know that you have the advantage, right, then there's no point of you to risk more or to lose trust in it, even though you are 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months on a losing streak. Now, of course, I get the point. If you have like a strategy which is not obviously meeting your requirements of profitability, then you got to change it, right? If it's just like 5 months out of 12 months profitable, then it's probably not the best strategy for you, right? If it doesn't work with your personality, right? If you're someone who doesn't care about that, and for you it's also okay to like have a strategy which is only profitable 2 months, right? But you have such a crazy performance during that period to like, yeah, that it works for you, then it's fine. For me personally, that would never work. This is like also what I established in my trading strategies. Basically having a good risk reward, a 1 to 2, 1 to 3. This is exactly where the win rate still remains quite good, right? And having a good win rate means you will not have too many losing days. Most people go crazy when they have losing days, so they will not actually accept them. For me, it's fine because I have a positive RR. So if I'm today negative, right, I will be in profit already tomorrow if I will get the right trade. And if I have 2 days in a row being negative, I know in the third day I will be back to break even or maybe already in profit. And also when it comes to losses, right, you can manage that. You can cut your losses earlier. All right. So all of these things is at the end what you need in order to like build your own perfect strategy which will work for you to achieve consistent results in the game.